It is, of course, exactly 20 minutes into the hour of 2 in the background. We did have the sounds of KP Illest featuring Script with Straight Up. Straight Up. Yeah, well,
you spoiled the surprise.
No, but okay, I kind of spoiled it when I played 2 songs. Because I first played KP Illest featuring King TD and was like, choose. And then I play another one and you're the same denominator in both the songs.
Yeah, but people could have thought it was Script because it's in the video of TikTok.
Oh, nah, I didn't calculate it like that.
You
See, this is why I need you here. Maraevo, yes, as you can hear by that voice, it is, of course, me in studio that is with one of the greatest hip-hop in Namibia. For me personally, maybe for you it's not like that. That is, of course, KP Illest. How is it, man?
I'm good, my guy. Thank you for having me. You know you should be on radio.
As people have told me that, but I don't believe them.
Yeah? So you're just going to do this so long, but you should be on radio.
Yeah, nah, for now, I'll just do this, and then when I feel like radio, then I'll do radio.
I
was recommended by KP Illest to be on radio.
Well. No, but I'm glad to be here.
No, thank you. We have been dying to have you. Of course, you're into the studio just for a young interview situation day. And I would just like to start it off. What do you think, how is your take on hip-hop right now in the country?
I think, so the trick is, I think commercially hip-hop is dead, but the culture is not dead.
Okay.
Because if you look at, for example, like I'm a piano artist, and they all dress like rappers. Everyone's got chains. Everyone's trying to wear bling. So the culture never dies. The slang never dies. I'm a piano guys in their videos, they look like rappers. R&B guys look like rappers. Afro-pop guys look like rappers. So the culture will never die. But I think commercially, it's dead, and it's just because people aren't dropping. Young people are dropping. Like, slowly we're getting to an age where, and not an age in terms of actual years, but age in terms of your sound. We're getting to an age where the next people need to matter. You need to slowly fade into black and be like, where this guy was. He was, though. Remember KP? Now there's the other guy. You know that other guy, Jackie? That guy's tough. So that's what we're trying to get to.
I understand what you're saying. And of course, within the industry, we see you some sort of like as a big brother, a mentor for some. So, and I just want to know, like, is the people that you are mentoring, that you're maybe, seeing so that they kind of evolve with the sound that has to become the new hip-hop, the new age of hip-hop?
I think it's difficult. I think it's difficult because hip-hop is the type of genre. It's the only genre, right? It's very dominated by ego.
Yeah.
Like, you only listen to rap to hear one guy say how he's better than every other guy. On every single song, that's what you listen to hip-hop for.
Yeah.
Afro, you want to hear what he wants to say about this girl. How is he going to give her roses? She's going to chop his money.
Exactly.
R&B, you want to serenade. But hip-hop, you want this guy, show us who you are again and again and again. So it's very difficult to mentor people in terms of, it comes off as you're trying to say, either you're trying to say I'm better than you, or I'm above you in some way. So the only way to really mentor people is to get out first. You have to not be an artist. That's the only way another artist will comfortably receive you and be like, nah, this guy is just a mentor. That's why you can be mentored by a businessman if you're a student, because it's not another student trying to, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Oh, no. It's kind of like stepping out of the spotlight and they say, the spotlight is open. Then you're like, okay, cool, they jump in. You're like, let me teach how you can be on that spotlight.
You see, otherwise you're going to end up Birdman. One guy in every video rubbing his hands, and then you don't know who's the artist now. Is this guy? Is it Birdman? And then Birdman will decide, I want to rap today.
Yeah.
Put on one of your songs, know? Whereas you wanted that spotlight analogy was perfect. Step away and teach someone. Let me show you how to manage that spotlight.
Okay. Yeah. Now, obviously, whenever you come through to the studio, so you always have your predator energy here with you. At this point, when it comes to the brand deals, absolutely there, I must salute you. I don't know who your team is, but they're doing the things. Just a little bit of like an insight into that with the brand deals. Because we're speaking off air, you said that a lot of people, especially artists, don't understand the essence or the importance of a brand deal.
Yes. And I think it comes to, firstly, corporates are to blame up to an extent.
Yeah.
Right? So the problem is a lot of marketing people, fair enough, right, are not people who you'll see at the lit events. You won't see marketing managers or marketing executives at like Army State Club or at Jura Inn or at the Catch. So they don't know what's really popping on the ground.
Yeah, that's the problem.
So that's half the problem.
Okay.
Right? But now, if I send someone, or I'm a marketing manager, but my little sister goes, and my little sister goes to this event and she comes back and says, yo, man, you should have seen that Dreas guy when he played me. Everyone was there. Yeah. So I think you guys need to push. Then I give him a call. I'm like, away, let's push with Dreas. And then I give him a brand deal. Cool. And then tomorrow on his IG, the brand is looking messy. Oh. Maybe the guy is on his story, maybe smoking or something.
Yeah.
You understand? Or he's not consistently delivering. Today, so we don't understand how to consistently deliver. And even when I was a young artist, I was like, nah, why does everything go to Dog and Gaza?
Oh.
But if you looked, they consistently gave you a standard and never dropped. Even when things were going wrong in their personal lives, the standard never dropped. And the moment you get to that standard, you start keeping that standard, brands trust you. Because they're like, look, he might not be the most popular guy right now, but we're going to get quality, we're going to get a good message, we're going to get a consistent message, and we're not going to get a scandal out of him. So we can compromise on that whole his song is old thing. Because at least we know what we are getting. Now you give a popping guy a brand deal, doesn't know how to handle it. Oh. So it's like a half and half.
Because I always, I see when certain brand deals or ambassador deals are given to certain influencers or artists in the game, and I always sometimes ask myself, like, why is he going to him? He hasn't probably dropped, or she hasn't dropped in a long while, or she hasn't done anything influential in a while. But then based on what you just said, I kind of understand as to why it's safer to give that to them, because they have been in the game longer and they understand, rather than give it to someone that is just like, yo, you have this brand deal now, and that's it.
And it's a big... Like, for example, one of the greatest examples is Pombili now. Pombili just got a brand deal with Mercedes.
Yeah.
And a lot of people might be like, okay, Pombili was on NBC those years. Bro, because true, that's how we all know Pombili is from NBC.
Yeah.
So you say, nah, she was presenting those years. I mean, she's got good numbers on socials, yeah. But even since then, you look at Pombili's content, what she does for Play, consistent. What she does for Coca-Cola, consistent. When she produces shows for NBC, consistent. Behind the scenes, consistent. The brand is clean. The brand is responsible, which is the most important thing. Because now, maybe they give KP Predator, and then the next day I'm posting a video with a gun saying I'm out in the state. And I'm not, in the caption, I'm not saying anything about responsible use of firearms or, hey, these are just props for a movie we are shooting. I'm just out there. And then people will attach the two. Oh, that's most the Predator guy. And then the brand goes out the window.
I feel like we need a young podcast when you just talking about brand deals and stuff like that. But I feel like one of the things that we're going to talk about before we dive into a musical break and come back and talk about the reason we are here. But we're just giving them a snippet of what we're going to talk about in the second half of the interview. I didn't know you had 9 albums. Never there were 2, then 3.
I won't lie, man.
I know you have volumes. You have volumes
of mixtapes.
Mixtapes.
But this 9th album is
so I'm just like, when, bruh? Like, I thought I was a fan. Now it makes me feel like I'm not. So what?
I think we need to talk about that 9th album soon.
So what the whole situation with people saying you have 9 album and all that? How does that make you feel?
I mean, I think that it was a I think it was a miscommunication. Right? I don't think anyone actually got anything wrong. I think something was said here by people who are in studio.
Yeah.
Right? So if I say to someone else that understands music, oh, KP is on his 8th studio project. Everyone can understand in the studio. Because some people understand a single is a studio project. An EP is a studio project. And mixtape is a studio project. But someone else might just think, oh, album. And then you go, right. So you're not wrong for not understanding. And this person is not wrong for saying it this way. So I think that's where we missed each other, whoever missed who. But the beautiful thing is, it created it stirred up something. And because I don't take myself too seriously, I wasn't catching offense. I actually responded to everyone. Some people were like, but I don't even know your songs. I was like, hey, cool, check this song out.
Now, but I also checked how you responded to it with a tweet. Yes. You're like, no, this album is where okay. This one is where Doja and Gabbana is at. Yeah. So people can just know.
Exactly. And it's just a matter of, you don't have to, because it's still good press, right? At the end of the day, people were, whether they were saying, this guy doesn't have albums. And some people were like, no, we know the albums. And even me, I'm like, how do you know 8 albums? I don't even know. But it created, what is that? There's no such thing as bad publicity.
Yeah, I know. There was someone that said, any publicity is good publicity, is how you benefit from it.
Exactly. And how you convert. Like me, I managed to convert a handful of people there who had actually never taken the time to listen to the music. Now, for the first time, they actually listened. And it was like, oh, away, you are nga, okay. Now I'm looking forward. People are like, I'm actually looking forward to the next album. Let's see.
Okay.
So, that was okay. It was all right.
Now we're going to dive more into that. And of course, we're going to be diving into the album that you are planning on releasing this year. Yeah. Absolutely excited for it. But for now, we are going to be diving into one of your studio mixtapes.
Wait, a studio project.
Yeah, a studio project that is, of course, from volume 4 of Kill Your Television. Absolutely live it. That is, of course, with Ice Prince.
Love that song.
So we're going to be diving into that banger. When we do come back, it is, of course, more discussion that is with the man of the moment that is in the studio right now, KP Illest. If you have any questions for him whatsoever, call in on the line that is 061-207-2874. Hit us up on our socials, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. The handle is absolutely simple. It is Nasta Fam.
But that was good press right before the album.
No, it was.
Yeah, boo. Those are the sounds of KP Illest featuring, of course, Ice Prince. And the title of the song is
Watch Your Mouth.
Watch Your Mouth.
Watch Your Mouth.
Yeah, you should watch your mouth about those 9 albums.
Yeah. Because he will ask you to name them.
All of them.
All of them.
Marayebo, yes, this is, of course, the second edition. That is for the interview today. That is, of course, with KP Illest. Thank you so much yet again for coming into studio. Absolute banger interviewing you. This is my second time interviewing you.
Yeah. I remember. Well, other time, when you with a girl?
Yeah, I was with a girl, but sometimes a man needs to be by himself.
No, sometimes you need to fly solo.
Exactly. Now, diving into one of the main reasons as to why you're here for today, it is your 3rd studio album.
Yeah, The Crown and the Curse.
The Crown and the Curse. The name is interesting, and I feel like with you, everything that you do kind of has meaning.
Yebo.
So give us a rundown for the name, The Crown and the Curse.
So The Crown just comes from me saying I'm winning. Basically, to say that for the longest time, I've been in a position where I've done well for myself. It's almost like a personal crown. Luckily, I don't have to work a job anymore. I used to work a job, I don't work a job anymore. I'm able to be a full-time artist, which was my dream. Okay. So in that sense, I've accomplished it. I'm a king in my world, I have a crown. But it comes with curses. You have, for example, I had a relationship that didn't go so well. And it's very easy for people turned it into a spectacle. Yeah. I had a radio interview and people called in and everyone had everything to say, forgetting that this was a very long relationship. So there might be some little it might be sierma, but people were just pouring some salt. And you have to understand that comes with the territory. The crown and the curse, you have to understand that there's a price to pay for being the king. You can't just get the nice things. But it's also just a means of educating people, especially young artists, because if you've seen in the industry, we have a lot of victims of mental health, poor mental health. And you can see it by just the amount of people that have committed suicide. One is already one too many, but you can count a few people that have just made bad decisions. People that even left the industry because it's not good for their mental health. Okay. And I think that's from a lack of understanding. What am I actually signing up for? And then when you finally get to the top and all this other stuff comes, you're like, bro, nobody told me this was going to happen. But had someone told you, maybe you would have done it differently. So the crown and the curse is like your way to navigate an ascent in the industry. I'm not saying I'm there where everyone else, but I'm saying navigating your way up. I'm just going to tell you, this is going to happen. That's going to happen. 100% that's going to happen. You have to have a strong heart. You have to have thick skin. You have to not take yourself too seriously. You have to take your losses the same way you take your wins. So it's kind of like a guideline through everything. There you go. This is a how-to menu. Okay. No. Being the king for dummies. No, I'm loving it. I'm also just loving how you of course, you titled it The Crown and the Curse. Yeah. Really absolutely amazing. Also just seeing on the reels on your Instagram and stuff like that kind of shows that actually. I don't know if you did it intentionally. No, everything from this point on, everything is intentional. The last 10 years we winged it. Now it's intentional. From this point on, for the next 4 months, everything is intentional. November, we wing it again. Yeah, because that there's a reel that you think you posted this week, the one of you just going through there's one a clip where you're with Nasty C and all that stuff. So I understand that. So all of that is just to show you the different. I'll never show you the curse on my Instagram, because my Instagram obviously is just for me to show you nice things. That's what you want to see. Yeah. Nobody logs on to see the bad stuff. You'll see the curse. When the album comes out, everything will make a lot of sense, and you'll be like, okay, this is what he was talking about. Because I love, especially back in the day at school, you'd always have these, maybe not call them wealthy, but I say these established
Okay.
Businessmen. And very often they'll come to our schools and they say, well, you just need to work hard, you need to study hard, and then you work hard, and then this is what's going to happen to you, right? But very few of them say, look, man, me, I lost A, B, C, and D to get here. Me, I have sleep deprivation to get here. I had to take sleeping pills for the last year because my body was completely messed up from not sleeping because of how much I had to work. They make you think that hard work is just 8 to 5. But that hard work, if you're trying to get to the top, if you're trying to go beyond what average people do, then that hard work is going to be extreme. And maybe had you told someone that, like I said, they wouldn't have done it.
Okay.
So you have to give them this little bit of a guide, and that you're going to see. I mean, it's a big. I personally feel it's going to be, in terms of a rollout, in terms of how we put it forward, it's definitely going to be the biggest album that I've ever done.
So how long has it actually taken you to kind of just like come through and write this album? Are there some songs that you most probably had written years back that you decided to put on the album, or what was the process going through writing it?
Not necessarily the songs, but their lyrics. So their whole, like, their bars that I had, or old songs that I recorded that didn't make it on Kill Your TV 1 or 2 or 3, where I'm like, whoa, if I could tell people that now, so I'll maybe take that verse. I won't take the whole song. I'll take that verse and edit it a bit and put it on something now. But we're trying to do so much. We're trying to start some. The other day I was on a podcast and I learned that in different countries they have things called writing camps. This is the first time. And mind you, and I'm 30 years old. I've been doing music for 10 years professionally. I've been in the industry, maybe in the industry itself, commercially in the front line, maybe for like 5 or 6 years. But I've been in the industry for 10 years. This is the first time I heard about a writing camp. And what they do is they'll have like a house converted into a house with like 5 bedrooms, converted into 5. Each room is a studio. You have 2 or 3 producers in each room and 6 or 7 artists. And they tell you this writing camp is for Lil Wayne's new album. So you come here, you write, and then at the end of the day, we're going to pitch these songs to Weezy. He might take the whole song, remove all your parts. Of course, you'll get writer's credits and you'll get paid. Or he might even leave a part of yours on the song. That's how, especially if you see, I learned about it now with AKA's last album. If you see his last album, there's so many people. There's a guy called 031 Chopper that nobody knows. But I found out yesterday that 031 Chopper wrote on the album. So one part that he put there, AKA was like, nah, leave his part there. I'm not going to re-sing that. Just leave it as his and put him as a feature. And apparently that's how people really get on in the industry, and that's how all these new kids start coming up, because they get like,
kind of like tutoring.
You get the gap on this guy. People will be like, man, weren't you on Dog's album? And be like, yeah, he was on one of the songs because you were at that writing camp. So we're trying to, all of these things are things that allow an industry to circulate. So many people came from a writing camp when he did Run Josie with AKA on the Levels album. He was in a writing camp. And most of these people just come from, I'll maybe call up a friend of mine and say, look, I really trust you, Sammy Lee Jones. I really trust you. Come to the writing camp, bring 5 of your friends, 5 people you trust. Those are 5 people I don't know. But one of them could be the next Dog. And he just needed a chance, and he got that chance at that writing camp.
So you think like with that writing camp is probably something that you're going to do for your next upcoming, not this album, but maybe your next one?
I mean, it's possible we even do it for this. We just have to, every country has writing camps tailored for them. So in South Africa, they do it with a house. They rent out a house. Right? And then as a producer, you are a producer, I'll tell you, okay, that's your room. Just come with your speakers and your laptop. So good. Maybe everyone kind of has a mini setup. So you just come with your mini setup. Don't worry if your mic is not dope. The recordings will go re-record somewhere else. Don't worry about that. But in the States, for example, like J. Cole with his Dreamville, he has an actual giant studio with smaller studios in it. So they can tailor make it because you can afford to do that. In SA, they can afford to rent a house for 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 days. So the trick is the idea, we keep the idea, but you have to edit it so that it will work for Namibia, so that it's feasible in terms of everyone involved. Nobody feels robbed. Nobody feels uncomfortable. Nobody feels out of place. You as an artist, you're not going bankrupt, because you must understand that on top of this writing camp. Because if you're having people inside a studio for 10 hours, for example, they got to eat, right? They have to drink, right? That most of the places in Namibia, they have that prepaid electricity. So now you have to make sure your boy has electricity. So those are costs that now you have to start taking on. So you must do it in such a way that you know, I also still have to pay for this album after this writing camp is done. I have to pay for, when these guys pitch me these songs and I say I want those 3, I have to pay for those 3. Pay the producer, give the artist something, maybe decide who's going to be featuring, we have to document all of this. So just a way to make it feasible, because one thing we must never forget is that as an artist, you're a business. Don't treat yourself like a charity. Don't think that it's all for the people, because you have to eat. There's no way you're doing your craft correctly if you're not correct, or if you're not nice. Nothing is going to be nice. You have to look nice, you have to eat nice, you have to breathe nice, flavored air.
But I also just want to kind of like find out the album, a few last questions that I do have because of time. Have you any features, any international, because you know sometimes you got like putting us a few international acts there and features and stuff like that. So
definitely, I'm definitely gonna work with Ice Prince. Ice Prince is just become one of those. It's almost like it doesn't feel right if he's not on it. In terms of like as a friend, you know, I definitely put Dog on there. I definitely put Script on there. But other than that, I think from these different not necessarily, I wouldn't call them camps yet, but these different sessions that I have with different artists, maybe different ideas will come about. But I popped a U-turn. I'm not necessarily chasing the international feature anymore. If it comes, it's going to come. Like I know with Ice Prince, it comes naturally. You know, I call him up while I'm in studio and I'm playing a beat and he's like, oh, send me that now. I bounce it down, I send it. He sends his verse in like a matter of hours. I don't want it to be one of those situations. Send it to the manager plays it for the artist, okay, I'm ready to record, but who's going to pay for my studio? Then, okay, but now I don't want that. You know, I want it to be natural and I want it to be mutually beneficial. With Ice Prince, I know he's reached a point where he's like, I don't need the benefit from KP. KP is my boy, that's why I want to jump on the song. So I want it to be like that. Otherwise, the international friends that I have, they can help in a different way. They don't have to be on the project to help the project. They don't even have to post about it. They can make a cameo in a music video, things like that. And then people be like, oh my God, he's with that guy. You know what I'm saying? So there's different ways. I'm not really chasing the international collab. But I have Page on there already from Ethnic's Pages.
He's yo.
Started off as a rapper. He's just scared to come back. But we're looking for him there.
But I feel like with his genre he's at right now, he's really killing it.
Yeah, he is not 100%. But he needs to come get these bars.
Now let's just I think the last question that I have for today is basically, do you have a set date for the album dropping? Do you have a launch party, maybe a young tour situation happening?
So we definitely have one mistake that we all make as artists is we try and exclude the media a lot, and that's not something we're gonna do. The media can help you with things like selecting a single. The media can help you with songs that sound media friendly. So we're definitely gonna have exclusive listening sessions, especially with our media friends. And then we're gonna have exclusive listening sessions for like fans, these people that are your actual core fan base, and be like that album, I can hear the essence of you in that album. And then we'll have listening parties for the vast majority, maybe more people that are in and out of around the industry. And then we'll have launches. But there's a lot that's coming. So probably we're looking at October. I just said October because I know it's in October, but I'm not sure if it's definitely not the beginning. So we're looking at mid to end of October, but I think end of October would do best. We're still even having meetings over whether to print CDs or not. Because I come from the time of CDs, man. I don't know who's spilling CDs. I don't know who's plays CDs now.
No, but why don't you try like vinyls or something like that?
Yeah. That's definitely there. We have memorabilia that we're doing, little pressed vinyls, like limited editions.
That can be like a young invite for like media. I'm just saying the one addressed to Nasta Fam should be addressed to me.
As long as it's gonna hang in here. You see?
Okay, there are 2 of them.
You see?
One has to go home.
How much a vinyl is? Vinyls run you about $800 per vinyl. if you print 100
to make.
Yeah. But the moment you are printing less, the cost goes up. True. So if you're doing something like 50 vinyls, then you must understand that the cost will run you somewhere near 2K per vinyl.
Sure.
So, and then you must understand that if you're doing them as media invites or you're doing them as gifts, that money is not coming back. So that you need to set in the budget money that's just to go. It's just going. And that's the saddest money to have. That one that's not coming back. That's not the money.
But with that being said, we have come to the end of the interview for today. Thank you so much for coming through. I feel like we deserve like a young podcast type of situation where you come in and just really talk, because you have a lot to say.
Yeah. True. And but I have to be back before closer to the album dropping. I have to be back.
I know you're booked already. I booked you already. You don't even have to talk long business. You're already here. But thank you so much for coming through. With that being said, it of course come to the end of the interview, sadly, as well as the end of the show. Now, this is a proper way to end off a Friday. My Friday, personally. And that is, of course, with that being said, I do have to say my goodbyes. But do not worry, because the switch is coming through. That is, of course, with Jane and Jovial. And then after that, it is all about the Reggie Show with your favorite Mommy Meals as well as Killer Color. As for me, I'll see you same time, same place next week. But for now, I'm going to be leaving you with the sounds of a Down Bed. That is, of course, with the man of the moment right now. That is KP Illest featuring Script. Enjoy this banger and enjoy the rest of your day. Danko.
That was dope.
Danko. That was dope.
You killed it.